Hi guys, I want to talk to you about, in this rule video, I want to talk to you about gaps in the direction of the trend. And the short message here is, as a general rule, you will get nice juicy gaps in the direction of the trend more often than not. And what do I mean by that? Well, this gap is in the direction of the trend. These are the trend spotter lines, as you guys are probably familiar at this point. Long-term trend spotter line, short-term. Short-term is below the long-term. You got a downtrend, right? This is a gap. This is a down gap for those who are unfamiliar, right? This was the close on Thursday. This was the open today, Friday, right? This is a gap, right? It's a technical term. But at any rate, my apologies if you're long this thing. But more often than not, you will get gaps that look like this, right? And sometimes you'll get more than one. If we go back here, you got one here. You got a nice juicy one here, although those who follow my methods, I'm not sure you would have been in this, and you could have potentially missed that just because of how it traded, but it's there. And I thought there was one more that I saw. There it is. Same thing here. There's a much better chance that you would have been in this one, right? Down, got that cross, came back a little bit, and then that's all she wrote, right? So just in terms of a setup, entering anywhere within this range would have been a nice, kind of low risk entry, even if you put the stop way up here above the top of the longer term trend spotter lines, right? But at any rate, there again is that gap, right? There may even be more. There's a gap up, right? So a gap against trend. You get those two. There's another one, smaller. You get those two, right? And all a gap just represents surprise, right? Somebody somewhere or the company or something surprised the market, right? The market, the consensus price at the close yesterday was right here, which was $30.58. The market agreed that that was the right price for that to go out. And then something happened overnight. There was news flow. The company announced earnings or something, and no one was willing to pair off and buy this thing until it got all the way down here. Okay. But there's a broader reason that you more often than not will get gaps in the direction of the trend, right? Yes, it is still a surprise, but the overall feeling or sentiment with respect to the stock is not a surprise, right? What you've had happen here is the stock was in an uptrend, right? And the overall market's opinion about the stock changed, such that sellers became more aggressive and buyers became less aggressive. So you had the trend spotter lines cross here. The buyers tried to become a little bit more aggressive here, but would not push it above this level, right? And the sellers took control again, right? That's all you're seeing when you see a gap in the direction of the trend. You're seeing what the market was thinking about the stock become exacerbated, right? Bad numbers. The market started to anticipate not such good news back here, right? Got a little bounce, and then you got that actual bad news, and it fell apart a little bit. That's what's being reflected in a chart that has gaps in the direction of the trend, right? Just a little bit more of what the market was already thinking. It's just sooner than the market expected to get it, right? And that's where they come from. Now you get absolute surprise when you are in a downtrend like this. Stock closes here and opens up here. This is, the company, more often than not, earnings won't give you that. Sometimes it will. More often than not, this is a takeout, right? Stock closes down here. It's in a downtrend. Somebody agrees to buy WTW, and on Monday you would come in and the stock would be up here like this, right? But that's obviously a special case. And even that, more often than not, speculation about a stock being taken out or something like that usually starts to happen far in advance of the actual event, right? So it would start moving higher. You would get these trend spotter lines to cross, and more often than not, by the time it's announced, the gap would be up and away. Okay. So I hope that's helpful. I hope it's useful, and that the other videos in the series or in the set are useful. If you have questions, as always, ask the trader at theartofsimpletrading.com, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.